What is the best school? One day, during our English class, we were all quietly doing an exercise when a student raised her hand. It was Anna, who always had interesting questions. Miss Carter, she said, I have a question. Next week, I'm going back to my country. I want to keep studying English there, but I don't know how to choose a good school. Can you help me? How can I tell if a school is good or not? The classroom got very quiet. Everyone stopped writing and turned to look at Miss Carter. It was an interesting question, and we all wanted to know the answer. Miss Carter smiled. That's a very good question, Anna. Thank you for asking. It's something many people think about when they want to study a language. Let me tell you what I believe. She put down her pen and leaned on her desk. First, I want to say something important. Learning English, or any language, doesn't always need a school. If you read a lot, listen a lot, and practice speaking, you can learn on your own. But, she added, a good teacher can help you learn faster. A teacher can explain things clearly, correct your mistakes, and give you encouragement. So, if you can find a good school or teacher, it's worth it. Anna nodded. But how do I know if a school is good before I pay for it? Miss Carter thought for a moment. That's a smart question, Anna. Let me give you some tips. First, you should look at the students. Are they happy? Do they enjoy the lessons? If you see smiling faces, that's a good sign. Second, think about the teacher. A good teacher doesn't only explain grammar rules. A good teacher helps you feel comfortable and confident. They make the lessons fun and interesting. You should feel excited to go to a class, not nervous or bored. Anna seemed to understand. Okay, but how do I know if I'm learning enough? What if I don't see progress? That's a great point, Miss Carter replied. There's a way to check. Before your first lesson at a new school, you can take a vocabulary test. There's a free one online at www.testlanguages.com. It will show you how many words you know. After 5 lessons at the new school, take the test again. If you see that you've learned more words, the school is probably helping you. If not, it might not be the right place for you. This idea sounded smart. I raised my hand. Miss Carter, what if the school is good, but I don't enjoy the lessons? Should I still stay there? She smiled at me. That's another good question. It's very important to enjoy your lessons. If you're not happy, it's harder to learn. A good school or teacher will make learning fun. You should look forward to every lesson and feel good about what you're doing. Tom, who was sitting near the back, asked, What if we can't find a good school in our town? What should we do then? Miss Carter thought for a moment and said, If you don't find a good school, don't worry. These days, there are other options. For example, I give private lessons online. I teach students through Skype. It's like having a class, but you don't need to leave your house. You just need a computer or a phone and make an internet connection. This caught everyone's attention. Many of us didn't know Miss Carter offered private lessons. Anna looked excited. Really? You give private lessons? Can I have private lessons with you when I go back to my country? Of course, Miss Carter said. If you're interested, we can arrange it. I love teaching online because it allows me to help students from different countries. And it's very flexible. You can choose a time that works best for you. I was surprised to hear this. I hadn't thought about taking private lessons before, but now it sounded like a good idea. I raised my hand again. Miss Carter, I'm also going back to my country soon. Can I have private lessons with you too? She smiled warmly. Of course you can. Just let me know when you're ready, and we can start. After class, Anna and I stayed behind to talk more with Miss Carter. Anna asked, how do private lessons work? What do you teach? Miss Carter explained, in private lessons, I focus on what the student needs the most. If you want to practice speaking, we can have conversations. If you want to learn new vocabulary, I can prepare special exercises for you. Some students want to improve their pronunciation, so we do activities for that. The lessons are flexible. They're designed just for you. Anna seemed even more excited. That sounds perfect. I sometimes feel shy in group classes, but I think I'd feel more comfortable in a private lesson. Miss Carter nodded. Many students feel the same way. In a private lesson, there's no pressure. It's just you and me, so we can focus on your goals. Over the next few days, Anna and I talked a lot about our plans. She told me she wanted to improve her speaking skills. I want to speak English more confidently, she said. Sometimes I know the words, but I'm too shy to use them. I told her I had a similar problem. For me, it's grammar. I always worry about making mistakes, so I don't say much. I think a private lesson could help me too. The week passed quickly, and soon it was Anna's last day at school. During our final class, Miss Carter gave us all some advice about learning English. Remember, she said, learning a language takes time. Don't rush. Enjoy the progress. Try to read every day, even if it's just a short article or a few pages of a book. Listen to English songs or podcasts. And most importantly, practice speaking. The more you use English, the better you get. After class, Anna said goodbye to everyone. She promised to stay in touch and told me she was excited to start her online lessons with Miss Carter. A few weeks later, after I returned to my country, I contacted Miss Carter too. We arranged our first Skype lesson, and I was nervous but excited. When the lesson started, Miss Carter greeted me with her usual warm smile. Hello, it's so good to see you again. Are you ready to learn? The lesson went by quickly. We talked about my goals, and she helped me practice some phrases for everyday conversation. By the end, I felt more confident and motivated to keep learning. From then on, I had regular lessons with Miss Carter. Each time, I learned something new and felt myself improving. Anna and I also stayed in touch, and we often shared tips and ideas for practicing English. Now, when people ask me how to choose the best school, I tell them what Miss Carter said. A good school makes you feel happy and excited to learn. A good teacher helps you use what you know and encourages you to grow. And remember, you don't always need a school. You can learn a lot on your own if you practice every day. What do you think about this story? Do you think online lessons could help you learn better?